biggest and strongest that he's ever been. He says he's up to 220 pounds, but he's the fastest he's ever been. Those are some good combinations there. What do you see with his changing his body and still being faster than he's ever been?
Yeah, he definitely let us know he's fast. Like, those guys have the GPS chip, and he hit a big number, and so he was. I mean, it's funny with those guys. Like, you hear Devin and CJ and all the guys arguing about who's faster, but all jokes aside, no, he's moving great. He's healthy. He's strong. He's fast. He's definitely running around. He looks good out there for sure.
How much has his body changed strength-wise over the last couple years, even from last year?
We were kind of talking about that. Obviously, Nick's the best in the business at what he does, but talking about the weight gain, and I'm not sure, but I think like all the quarterbacks really have gained 20 plus pounds since they got here. CJ put on a lot of weight, and it's healthy weight, right? Like, he's not getting fat, he's getting strong. Same with Devin Brown, same with McCord. All those guys are getting stronger, and every year that you put in a strength program with Mick, I mean, that's just, you just stack it up.
Who's the fastest QB?
Justin Fields.
CJ did say that he needed you're not going to ever get a running quarterback. He seems more willing to do it this year. Is that that's a point of emphasis? Has that been discussed this year?
No, I think that CJ does a great job of what he's asked to do. He'll definitely do it to the best of his ability, and it's kind of funny. He's always been able to run. It's not that he hasn't been able to run. I think his first touchdown was a long run against Michigan State. So he's definitely athletic. He's definitely talented. He definitely has the things where he can run around a little bit, and if it calls for him to run the ball, he'll definitely run. It's really good right now because I think that, over the years here, there's no better place to say that we need everybody in the room. And I even laughed, and when I say everybody, I mean Mason Maggs, Chad Ray, because a lot of guys don't realize that we had, JP, that at Indiana, he sat there and he's wearing coach's clothes because one of our signalers, we needed another signaler. So truly, I think that everybody's focus is on themselves right now and how can they get better for, when there's numbers called. One thing that we've talked about is, how can you win the moment? And so when it's your time, competitive excellence, and you need to be ready to go, then those guys are ready to go.
Now that CJ has been,
can you scoot up to the mic just a little bit?
This one? Yeah.
Now that CJ has been in the program for a year, you started for a year, and now he's going to his second year, how have your conversations with CJ changed in terms of the things you're working on during the offseason?
Yeah, I think the one thing that you appreciate about CJ, it wouldn't have mattered what kind of year he had last year. He wants to get better, and he's always trying to find something to get better. He's always trying to, work on his craft, trying to enhance it, trying to get better. But, conversations definitely change. Maybe it's not as much, and CJ's always been an unbelievably smart kid when it comes to the playbook and reads and vision and seeing the field, but maybe it's not as much, these guys are doing this, but this is how we're doing it. Maybe not as much the what, but the why.
When you went into the opener last year, you had no quarterbacks who had thrown a pass in college. Now you've got two.
Yeah.
So is your job easy now, or you just get to coast?
No, I definitely wouldn't say it's easy because, all the guys, right? Because our expectations are so high, what we want around here. And I think that, you're right. Didn't have a guy who threw a pass, but now you have CJ coming back. So it's one of those things that you just continue to try to enhance with those guys and continue to try to get better every day.
What is it that you can do with, you were kind of alluding this with CJ, but Kyle as well, but they've both been on the field. What is the learning process and teaching process? How is it different when they have that experience to grow on that they didn't have a year ago?
Yeah, no, definitely. Because you can see it. Obviously, game reps are completely different than practice reps. Now, our practice is unbelievable when you go against an unbelievable defense like we do every day. But, there is a sense of comfort of walking out of the shoe, walking out there and being a starter. So that is something for sure.
I know you're still 2 weeks out, but how many game-ready guys do you have right now to be game-ready quarterbacks?
The thing, like I alluded to earlier, like we're always trying to get better, right? We're always trying to go, and the goal is just everybody's going to be game ready. So I think that, how can you enhance whatever you need to do? That's kind of the way that we're attacking it right now.
How have you been splitting up reps between Kyle and Devin?
There's constant flow, kind of go through it every day. Guys are getting reps with, it just really kind of depends on the day if we're doing ones, twos, play-its, periods, just kind of going through it. But those guys all get the reps, and it's kind of just split up kind of before practice.
How would you describe the competition there between Kyle and Devin? Is it pretty close? How would you describe it?
Once again, like you guys keep saying, like the word competition, sure. I think the competition is within themselves. How can they get better? How can they develop? And I think that that's always the way that it is around here, because you have to take care of yourself. If you're worrying about somebody else, then you're not really focusing on yourself and getting better.
CJ received the most captain votes of any player. Just how have you seen him become that captain of the team, become that leader?
Man, that was awesome. We got to call Miss Kim. We got to tell her that. But, the fact that, you're voted, there's no better honor than being a captain and being voted by your peers. So, but he's done a great job, had a great offseason, just his vocal presence. The team gravitates around him, and he is. He's voted, I think, like you said, #1 vote. So he's doing a great job when it comes to the leadership aspect, for sure.
CJ said he'd always been like a vocal guy. Did you see that last year too? Or
Yeah.
He's grown?
No. I think that he always has been a vocal guy, and he'll always, continue to press and continue to lead. But it's just like anything. Anytime that, maybe a first-year guy or a second-year guy, like he's able to just grow and continue to do it. But no, he's never shied away from leadership when it comes to that trait.
Is there a time last year you kind of first saw that?
No, that's just kind of the personality that he is. He walks in the door, and, whether maybe it's not in front of the whole team, but he'll have his group of guys that he's trying to motivate and he's trying to go, and he's always grab a guy one-on-one and maybe stayed after practice and throw with him. But no, he's definitely always kind of been that guy. Now, continue to enhance and grow. Yeah, sure, absolutely.
How different is Kyle this year? What's been the biggest step?
Kind of like I said earlier, it's maybe is not as much as the what as it is the why we're doing it. And I think that when you can kind of get to that, that's where you take your next step, when you kind of see the everything and kind of understand why we're doing it, why we're calling it. And that's when really guys kind of take off.
Just getting a start under his belt last year, that's got to be just a true freshman. CJ did that. That's got to be big for Kyle, I would think.
No, definitely. And I think that, his confidence is there. It's in the past, you think about guys like Dwayne Haskins coming in versus Team Up North with no start under his belt or anything like that. So I think that was definitely big for Kyle, and it definitely helped his confidence.
To have a returning starter and then to have a backup that's had some experience, and then Devin coming in, do you feel like your room's in a pretty ideal spot right now the way things are in college football?
Yeah, we're definitely have a healthy quarterback room, but the thing that I appreciate the most about the quarterback room is nobody's comfortable, nobody's worried about, like you say, competition here or whatever. Guys just truly, they want to get better and they want to work.
I know some people kind of chuckle when we ask you guys about CJ running the ball, but seriously, how important is it for him, once or twice a game, let's say, to get a cheap first down with his legs? Play breaks down, defense finally thinks they got the Buckeyes off the field, and he gets a cheap first down. Just how important is it?
Yeah, anytime you can get a cheap first down is important. So, no, if he's asked to do it, he'll definitely do it for sure.
Corey, when you go
Final two questions for Corey.
quarterback in high school that you're recruiting, and you're first laying eyes on him, what are you looking for to pop out? Whether or not he has a chance.
That's such a good question, and this answer, it's one is you have to be able to throw the football. Can he play catch? That's one thing that, Coach Day says a lot, but then also there's a ton of things, right? Are they competitive? What do they do? What is their makeup? Do they love the game? So there's definitely a lot of things that we look at for sure.
Is there anything in particular that you're working on with CJ this offseason that you feel like he can enhance or needs to enhance over what he did last year?
Nothing like, hey, this is our exact thing, we're going to attack it. But I think just growing as a quarterback is really kind of where we've attacked it.
Guys, one more. Are you ever taken aback by how grounded he is, especially now that he's become such a superstar? Can you get into that a little bit?
Yeah, his hats off to Miss Kim. She's raised an unbelievably humble guy. He's a Christian man. He speaks his faith. He loves the Lord, and it's just hats off to him because he is a humble guy. And, he's definitely a grounded kid for sure.
Great. Corey, thank you very much.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep. See you guys.
Thanks, Corey.
Thank you, Corey.
Just a second. Thanks.